Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back again. We're here. It's the Masters, Manila Masters qualifiers, the Chinese version of it. And we are going to be taking a look at a wonderful game here. It is VG.J facing off against Invictus. And because all of my settings changed because I was far away from home, we're just going to switch this over right there. I like a little bit of music when I cast. That background sound, you know, it adds a little something to the broadcast. But yeah, we're here. We're doing it. It's gonna be the upper bracket finals right now. VG.J versus Invictus Gaming. Should be a really wonderful set. There isn't a little thing showing up over to the side here that says open mic, but I do have it on, so it should be working in game. The only thing that might be running a little bit weird because of it is that I had to log out and log back in because there's a problem with the server. And because of that, if you're listening in game, you're not going to hear my voice, at least through the first couple of minutes of this draft. But a lot to talk about, so we're going to get right into it. But that's why also we were a little bit delayed, and we're coming in now only in the band stage because we had to take care of business and what was going on there. So again, you just need to re-log in, you know, hit the little spectator key up here in the upper right-hand corner, and then reselect the voice, and it should be fine. But as far as we are going, we're taking a look at this. It is the Chinese qualifiers, and there's been a ton of action here already. So big things to keep in mind. First of all, Wings are out. Kind of blowing everybody's mind. Not entirely unexpected. Wings are one of those teams that's sort of always been a little bit of a crapshoot when it comes to qualifying events. They tend to play extremely well in long series, particularly because you're not able to react to them as well because there's so many different things that you need to deal with. But in these best of three formats, best of one even worse, but best of three formats, they sometimes can fall behind, lose games to teams that they wouldn't otherwise. You think about them performing in DPL, and you see similar type of stuff as well with a 1-1 versus a team like eHome Keen, the tier 2, but the bottom of the barrel tier 2 Chinese teams. So that type of thing is sort of to be expected. So they ended up getting knocked out though by VG.J 2-0, and VG.J also knocked down to the lower bracket LGD Gaming in the very first round of these qualifiers. And LGD since then haven't lost a match. They've ended up going at least 6-2 against CDEC, LGD Forever Young, and Vici Gaming. And Vici Gaming, keep in mind, was that team that almost knocked IG out of the Chinese finals in the Kiev major qualifiers. They got to the grand finals against IG, and IG just ran them over at the end. So got a little bit too big for the britches. Now also knocked out of the Manila Masters. They have to put something together soon because that squad is too talented for things not to be going their way. And then on the other side of the table, what you take a look at here with Invictus Gaming, they just qualified for the Kiev major. They're going to be going to DAC, and they would love to be able to go into this match. Again, two teams that are going to face each other in DAC most likely. They would love to be able to build a little bit of momentum here. And you can see already somewhat of a meta being built. This is not totally unexpected here, the bans and picks that we've been seeing so far. So the first round, they take out the Tinker. OP is known for this hero all across China, followed up by the Centaur and Abaddon. That was one that I actually took a little bit of time with Invictus Gaming before they decided to go for that pick on the for the ban, because VG.J had first pick, and so they took the Magnus there immediately for ROTK. That led us into a first phase Monkey King Juggernaut. Monkey King more often than not has been played in sort of a position 4-ish type role, but with the CM, I'm kind of wondering if they're going to try and boost him up a little bit, maybe send him to that offlane or something. We've seen that occasionally, but this is still a hero that's been very versatile, but we've been seeing it more often than not in China as actually a hero that will run mid, level up tree dance early, and then just start springing all over the mid laner and causing issues. So kind of a unique way to play that hero that we've been seeing out of the China region, at least so far. Don't know if that's going to continue here or not, but it's something to keep our eyes on. Ricky was the second pick overall for VG.J. Another one of those heroes that's been getting a little bit more play in China based off of the Invictus Gaming Vitality team, which obviously IG is going to be very familiar with since it's their sister squad, particularly around dogfights. But I'm kind of wondering, what is it that I'm assuming that this is going to be a Fenrir hero. It doesn't seem to me like too much of an FY one. Actually, Fenrir is probably going to be playing the Warlock, so it is going to be an FY Ricky. And because of that, I'm wondering, are they going to try and secure a little bit of extra farm on this Ricky? Think about Tricks of the Trade with Empower on it later on in the game. If you're trying to stall this one out, which is something that we've kind of seen a little bit in some of these games, it might be something to look for. Other things to keep in mind. Silencer banned out. not going to be able to have that strong initiation. Slark as well, heroes that can sort of just go for those pick-off style of plays. You've also got the Winter Wyvern and the Rubik. Now, to me, what this says is VG.J do not want to be stalled. They want to keep that pressure up. They want to try and really just run over Invictus Gaming. They're banning out all of these split-pushing heroes. Lifestealer as well is not a split-pushing hero so much as he is a pick-off oriented, I would say. You can go for any one of those strong combinations. The Centaur, the Slardar, the Bat Rider. You go for an initial jump, you jump out of the hero with Infest, and then you blow him up. And then you have the other heroes there that facilitate split-pushing. So to me, this is a very clearly constructed ban order that VG.J are just wanting to get rid of the split-pushing heroes that are going to cause issues, and they want to group up and pressure. And I'm really curious to see how this plays out throughout the whole course of this game, because this is again going to be a matchup where we've seen the new patch a little bit, but we haven't fully seen what happens to 5-man group up strategies with the tower changes and, you know, a little bit the gold changes. The tower changes with the armor is more likely to be the big issue. And then Invictus Gaming going back for another just very strong core hero. In my eyes, this is almost surely now going to be a support Monkey King. It's a little bit tough to tell. By the way, I will be having a co-caster with me a little bit later, but they're not up yet, so it's fine. But yeah, it's going to be great. I'm really curious to see how this Monkey King pick goes. Again, first phase overall, this is something that we've been seeing fairly often. If I'm not mistaken, also against VG.J, it's been banned 4 times in the, I want to say, 4 games that they've played so far. It's been banned in every match against them. And then likewise, you've had Lifestealer and Tinker banned in all of the matches pretty much that Invictus Gaming have played. So everybody very aware of what these meta picks are in this game, at least against each other. And, you know, that's sort of something to be expected. Troll Alert is now going to be taken as well. So you look at this. This is just, you jump in, you RP somebody, you drop the rock, you have Empower on Troll Warlord, and he goes to town. They're putting a lot of hopes and dreams on this aggressive guy, and it seems like it's been more his style recently. You think about like the way that he's played, particularly like been running a lot of gyrocopter. It's felt like for Team VG.J, going back to his roots a little bit. This is again a guy who wants to get aggressive early, wants to try and be involved, and I think you can do that with Troll Warlord to some extent. Maybe you pick up an early Aegis. Ricky can scout out things for you, place down some good wards. It's going to be hard for Invictus Gaming to deal with this, and I feel like the Ricky is really going to be that glue that pulls everything together, giving you the vision advantage, so that way you always have the team fight into your advantage. Likewise, there might be a little bit of shenanigans going on with the Monkey King. We'll have to see how he deals with this as well. I haven't seen a ton of pro Monkey King matches. I've watched a few of them in China, but to be honest, there just haven't been that many overall. So, Invoker last ban, as well as the Ember Spirit. And VG.J ready to move on and see what their final pick will be. I'm assuming that they're going to need
Phantom Assassin.
A PA. Yeah, so they're just doubling down on this. This is pretty unique. You got a PA, you got a Troll, and you're going to throw the Empower on them. They want to go in. That is very clear. And then they're just going to need FY to run around and win them the lanes. This is going to be the hero to watch early. And I'm wondering even if it's worth it to try and find the CM in the jungle. I'm not even sure if they're going to stick the CM fully in the jungle. And there have been some teams that have been messing around with Monkey King. Yeah, I'm pretty sure now. So Invictus Gaming is one of the teams that's been running Lina in multiple different roles as well, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check that. Yeah, they've had 4 matches so far with Lina. 2 of them that they've played so far have been played by Bobica. 1 of them has been played by Q, so that's 3 picks for the supports, and then 1 of them has been played by OP, so, which is the mid laner. So we don't know necessarily who is going to be taking this. We will find out in a second, but it's still a very versatile lineup. In my eyes, I do kind of, I don't know if I love the idea of sticking the Monkey King in the support role anymore, just because I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get enough done against these heroes. Like, Lina is scary in lane, but with a Ricky there and always able to harass away, I'm not sure if you can necessarily do that. So I think that they might be running this back in the support role and then having the sort of sister duo, sister power running in the supports. We'll see if that's going to be the case or not, but I'm very excited to go into this game. It is VG Gaming J facing off against Invictus Gaming. A little bit of a preview of what we're going to be seeing at DAC. Again, for anybody just joining, this is the Manila Manila Masters 2017 upper bracket finals for the China qualifiers. I'm Lyrical. I'm going to be giving you a solo cast for right now. I have another guy who's going to be hopping in to join me a little bit later on, but we are going to have to wait for him for now. I hope that you guys will be able to sit back, relax, and continue to enjoy some great Dota too. And I'm so happy they put this in. This is the best thing ever, honestly. So it is going to be a Bobica Monkey King, and they're going to put it on OP. So now with 5 games played so far for Lena, and you can see now we do actually have the open mic on. They've changed that as well. Nice. I'm glad to see it. With 5 games on this so far, OP is now played 2. You got Bobica 2, and then Q is going to be on 1. And they're going to smoke out, and hopefully we do not get too much lag from the Chinese servers. I'm sure everything will be fine. I'm going to keep an eye on my levels as well. Let me know if there are any issues within chat. This is my first game back casting since going to the Kiev Major Qualifiers, and as usual, computers just have issues. So for anybody that hasn't seen this, this is the cool thing about Monkey King. You can play him in this role where you just run around, you do your tree dance, and then you primal spring in on mid and cause issues. I think that this is probably the preferred way to play Monkey King in China. We've been seeing some other teams experiment with it as well, some in the safe lane, occasionally off lane as well. I think the hero is still incredibly versatile depending upon where you want to play him. It's just a big question of like how much priority do you want to give it to farm, and do you think that he's going to be able to get in without just getting exploded? Because that's the big problem that I think this hero has when played in the off lane, or even played, we've seen some games mid, is that you do end up just dying. Oh, and they're actually instead going to be running it with Jinju Mastery. God, I'm going to need to work on this.
The battle
I don't remember the name. I know it's Wukong Command. I know it's, what is it? Mischief. And then Primal Spring. But I don't know how to pronounce Jinju. I'm sure somebody can let me know. But I guess the idea here is expecting that Aggressive is going to be going for this dual lane. They want to try and put somebody here who's going to be able to harass him out. Maybe they expected that it was going to be the Magnus, and that's why he ended up kind of sticking around here. The other thing that's interesting about this, everybody, for anybody playing some Monkey King in your pubs, it's actually worth it to go into courier form often, because you have higher movement speed. It brings you up to 350 movement speed. As top lane, a little bit of action going on. We'll have to keep our eyes all around this map because very likely something could happen early on. Ricky, in the meantime, is going to be harassing Q a little bit in lane, and I'm going to readjust the levels, and it's going to be fine. Wonderful. So again, this is a little bit of an aberration from what we've seen so far in Monkey King players. Like I said, the teams that we've been seeing run Monkey King have more often than not been taking it and hiding out in these trees and then just jumping down onto whoever's mid. And I think that maybe the PA there as the last pick was an idea that they didn't want to try and run that, possibly. I'm not exactly sure what the impetus was for IG to switch up the way that they've been playing, or if this was something that they had planned all along, but is certainly an interesting draft, to say the very least. And it is going to be Fenrir on the Warlock. Q, in the meantime, is not quite gotten his level 2. He's going to be sharing experience with FY. This actually really sucks. You'd love to be able to get a quick level 2 on that CM, but now you have the stacks up. Fenrir taking a lot of damage. Orb of Venom, and just showing the value of this is, well, Bobica maybe in a little bit of trouble here. Has to be careful. They end up trying to switch away and get out of there, but still going to be ran down. FY in the area as well, and the right click finishes him off. First blood drawn by Troll Warlord. This lane does not feel like it's going to get a hell of a lot easier. So the one-on-one matchup in the top lane of ROTK versus XXS should be relatively even. ROTK is going to be running into some issue with damage being traded out as you get these overwhelming odds leveled up. But I think the big thing is we'll just have to see how much more they can get done in this aggro tri-lane. Ricky can obviously be that surprise factor who's going to rotate back and forth between harassing OP in the mid lane and trying to find a kill bottom, as we end up missing. He got skewered. Oh my god. Oh, I'm the worst. ROTK God. He makes it happen. And this is why I was just saying I needed to keep an eye on it up there more often, because very likely somebody just ends up dying in that top lane. You get skewered back under tower. FY in the meantime has a Haystern, going to go pick up some bounties. And pretty soon here, we will be well underway. But, I mean, in spite of that early kill, you take a look at the lanes, it's still going into the favor of Invictus Gaming. You've got Burning right now sitting 11-3 compared to the 6-2 of the Troll Warlord. This is not a great start by any means. They are going to be able to get a D ward here on mid lane, so OP is going to need to be a little bit careful about his movement. Because, you know, PA obviously can jump. Well, actually, only level 3 right now, no points up in Phantom Strike yet. Saving up into that. I think then level 4 is what we're going to have to be waiting for, although OP can still keep the harassment up. And, well, Freeze still a little ways away from level 4. They're trying to deal out some more damage there. Bottom lane pressured in. Onto Aggressive, dealing the damage. Can they find this kill? And, well, they've got that up. Now going to be able to find that kill onto Aggressive. Jinju Mastery, very much a problem at these early levels. And they're going to Shrine mid on the side of the Dire. VG.J keeping themselves topped off, and now Lena forced to use her own shrine. That should be good. So yeah, still sitting a very hefty last hit advantage, but you can see that VG.J are a little bit ahead in terms of gold because of that first blood, because of the way that, you know, the kills have sort of worked out. But it's something to keep our eyes on. Again, Burning maybe in a little bit of trouble. They're trying to get this pull off, and we'll be able to achieve that. No points up yet in Healing Ward, although he could be spamming that out with the CM aura, most likely. Oh my god, and there's a little bit of lag. I'm sure it's fine. And I'm very curious also to watch how Freeze plays. He put himself together a really good game as Aggressive is going to get ran down. And right clicks coming through. This should be a kill. Another one going their direction. Nicely played. So the big thing that we saw from Freeze was he played quite well at Star Ladder, I felt like. Trying to get away from this is in a little bit of trouble. The rotation comes in, able to get it off with a Boundless Strike, trying to turn now onto FY, in trouble. He's going to fall. Now Freeze, forced to Phantom Strike away, is still taking a lot of damage from there. And, well, as too is my frame rate. Which is going through some issues. Hopefully there's not too much more loss that goes on. And they take down ROTK as well. Actually, I think that Aggressive TPing in there might have been what caused him to die. You get the bonus, what is that? Bonus 90 damage on top of it for ROTK. I think that's what caused him to die right there. And I'm going to try a quick reconnect in a second, see if that ends up solving the issues. We'll be right back for more Dota, and we will talk about it in just 1 second. Just want to make sure that we're giving you the highest quality appearance that we possibly can, because occasionally we do run into issues. So we're going to reconnect, make it happen, make it happen, make it happen. Beautiful. And we're getting back into this one. So early thoughts. Ricky has done a bit, but that failed gank in the mid lane really hurts them. Come on now. And you take a look. We haven't ended up missing any kills, thankfully. Still sitting at 4-2. The CS still very heavily into the favor of Invictus Gaming. And you take a look at the net worth difference, it's 1,500. Yeah, and that failed gank mid, like, Ricky is really going to struggle now. He's only level 3. And he's going to be able to get these, like, wards down everywhere, and there's always going to be comeback potential with this draft from VG.J as they're scouting out Bobica. It looks like the lag is not going to be abated at all, although they are trying to run this guy down. Skewer forward, Boundless Strike, trying to run. Is he going to get up into the trees? We'll find out next slide. And yes, indeed, he will be able to make that escape. Very long cool, or low cooldown on that tree dance. If you're able to find your way out and away. So again, 4-2. Oh my god, this is awful. 40-8 for the Legion Commander, who has definitely been having a great game for herself. Currently 1-1-0 with that one kill on ROTK. Jeez, it's not just me that's having some trouble apparently. Nome Lavio Javier is also having a little bit of an issue, but FY scouting things. They see Bobica here. It will not end up going for it. But yeah, this is the thing that's kind of interesting, is seeing the comeback of Lina in the mid-roll. I think that for a long time, there's a mixture of the nerf that you got to Light Strike Array, the nerf on the Yule Scepter cast range. There was the nerf that came about with having raindrops be an item. All of these things sort of compounded together to cause a lot of issues for Lina being played in the mid lane. You can see this Bobica setting up for I'm not sure exactly what, but he's trying to tree dance his way all the way into their base almost. FY is scouting him the whole way through, and yeah, they take down the tree, and now going to try and see if they can take down Bobica as well. Not quite in range as of yet. Skewer forward, right click's coming through, Boundless Strike to turn, throwing out the dagger. He is going to end up dropping here, so good scouting out there by Freeze, able to find it. Fenrir dueled up in the top lane, aggressive gone upon as well. XSS is going to be all over him. Do they have another? No, then no more nukes left and alive. So they are going to have to call off the chase there, but you can see a 1-for-1 exchange, not bad, not to mention in that little bit of, well, actually didn't get dual damage from it. Looks like it came a bit too late, unfortunately. So yeah, 5-3, still a very heavy net worth advantage, relatively speaking, into the favor of Invictus Gaming. Freeze right there trying to break down another tree, see if he can knock Monkey King on his booty. And it looks like they are going to have to call it here. They could set up for something, Boundless Strike onto him, but I was wondering if they were just going to try and go for that, like into an immediate Light Strike Ray, possibly. Doesn't look like they want to go that route, though. The stun is just so low. Apparently it's Jingu. Jingu. Thank you, chat. I appreciate it. So FY still at level 3 at almost 9 minutes in. This is the real trouble. And I think that this is something we're going to need to keep our eyes on in future events as well, particularly DAC coming up. You think about the Kiev Major as well, with the most recent change and the decreased as they go on to FY. Boundless Strike trying to find that kill, are going to be able to get it. They drop every damn thing onto him, but now Freeze going forward, realizing there's nothing to stop him from just chasing down Bobica. Tried to hide out with the rest of the trees, but it wasn't going to be enough. Can OP finish him off? They do have the Light Strike Array, finding him on the high ground, just barely off the mark, but maybe can find the kill with the Dragon Slave. No, it's not enough. So he is going to be able to escape from that one. Raindrops, more than enough to keep him alive there, and that is one of the reasons that hero doesn't always get picked up in the mid-roll, but still having a great time this game. You can clearly see top of the net worth almost right there with the Legion Commander. But what I was mentioning is that you had those nerfs to the amount of experience that you end up needing to get to each level, and for these type of roaming heroes, it becomes imperative that you find kills early, even more so than it would have before, because now you can't just have, right now Ricky would probably be, I'm not exactly sure where he would be at. He'd probably be close to level 5 though at this point. And then he would only need one more tome to get him over that little hump to put him over to the level 6 mark, where he's even harder to kill off. But now sitting at level 4 is sort of it's not just also that, it's also getting these levels up in these, so your fade time can be reduced and all that other good stuff. A ward drop down. Fenrir, they pump fake it, looking for him, trying to find it. They get the stun, Light Strike Array to boot, and, well, the RP connects onto OP, but is it going to be enough? It looks like it will, at least to kill him off. Bobica not really able to stick around too much longer, and it looks like with that, they're going to have to call off the charge, maybe having to think about getting him out of there. Press the attack comes a bit too late, and Fenrir finds the kill onto the support Monkey King. So no dual damage gained. They find one kill on the Warlock, but he's already back up. It really does not feel worth it. So a big win there for VG.J. So currently the movement up towards the top, we have a Blink Dagger almost done for Legion Commander. ROTK does not have RP, and you can see just how aggressive Q is willing to be here. They're thinking about diving, and yeah, ROTK very quickly just going to skewer off. Can he make his escape, though? They realize he's in the arrow. XSS, he's actually going to juke the wrong direction, and because of that, will not be able to find the Magnus. So ROTK escapes. They will still get the tower, but would have loved to get a little bit more off the back of it. And in the meantime, that gives some more room over to Bobica to farm in the mid lane. This is another one of those builds that we've seen on occasion out of the Monkey Kings. I believe I saw MSS doing this in the off lane, was maxing out the Boundless Strike early. You get a little bit longer of a stun duration, and then you use it as a long range setup. So instead of having Look, it's not just me, it's them. See, I promise. Instead of having to go for the Yule Scepter early now in the Lina, you can instead have your setup stun with Monkey King. It goes up to 2-second stun duration, and that's usually enough where Lina could get into range for her Light Strike array if you're close enough. So I think that's probably going to be the way that they look to take these fights. They still have to be careful about RP. They obviously still have to be careful about Warlock ulti, but if they play this pick-off-oriented style, I think that they're going to be in a good spot. Now that I've got a little bit of second, I'm going to take a drink of water. And you can see just a little bit of a lead right now into the favor of the Radiant. We've seen VG.J come back off of that failed gank that moved up towards the top lane. They also, I believe, got their ward dewarded. You can see the sentry ward placed down. So vision-wise right now, IG are definitely lacking. They spot out Burning right here. I'm not sure how they actually see that. That might be a bug. Must have been these creeps that actually spotted him. But in the area, yep. Here we go. I thought that it was the Dire that spotted him, but actually had the vision on the Radiant. So nonetheless, Burning, quick and easy pick off there of the rest of VG.J. And we've got around a 300 gold win off of that. More importantly, though, it's just Fenrir continuing to be hemmed in. This is not going to be a Warlock that's able to get a decent timing at all on any type of Midas. He's seen it's 700 net worth right now. It's just been a really rough game for him. And with the Blink Dagger now up on Legion Commander, he's never going to feel safe. They might think about trying to defend this here. You still don't have a Blink Dagger yet for ROTK, so they want to take advantage of this timing when they're still incredibly strong. And Burning, healing ward behind him, should be fine to keep on keeping this pressure up. They don't have Lina here in the mid lane as of yet, but she could still show up with a quick TP. Looks like for now at least they're going to have to call off the charge, though not feeling comfortable diving too deep for this one.
Bottom tower is under attack.
And in the meantime, you get a little bit more farm on aggressive. He's going to stack this up another time, the Ancients, and move into the rest of the jungle. If they wanted to, they can send this for PA, who has been going back for the Vlad's build. I mean, you get an extra bit of damage off of the Empower, so I feel like this is pretty solid here. But I have to say, I'm a little bit concerned that VG.J here with this lineup, I mean, they're never going to be in a situation where they can't really fight unless they don't have their ultis up. But just thinking about the way that this is going, you're going to have a Monkey King that scales, I think, quite well into the late game, I would imagine, and CM, who's not getting terrible farm in this game. I think that they need to be at least a little bit worried. Jump in, top lane, trying to find the kill on aggressive, is still running out of there, and looks like he might end up going down. Whirling Axis trying to get out of there. No, Jews, Guild, Nuke, it's not there. Oh, they found it. Nicely done. It was having a conniption. So between the two of them, they find the kill. And a good one at that. RTK continuing to just be harassed here. And we've been seeing that OP, he's been going back for this Bloodstone build. So this is kind of one of those things that I remember when Lina mid became a pretty big thing, was like, it was all about trying to keep up your farm levels with Bloodstone. It allowed you to get more items early because you can just stay on the map more often. But it also is something where you're quite afraid of just getting taken down early. Like, you get some HP from it, but in a lot of ways with like, oh, what? Oh, ROTK. Oh, he pressed the wrong button. Okay, yeah, that hurts. They're still moving in like they want to fight this. Is this like the ultimate bait where you try and go in for a fight because the enemy team thinks you don't have RP? Does he think he has RP? What's going on? Why is he going in with this? Okay, I mean, they've got Fatal Bonds. They still have Rock. I guess that's okay there. But wow, that was like the ultimate bluff. I don't believe that IG saw that. So they expected that Magnus still had RP. So Mag literally just scared them off with nothing. He walked in, made them think that he had RP, and then ended up being able to push them back. ROTK always with the mind games, even when you don't have your abilities up. That's pretty awesome. Gotta be said. Oh, in the meantime, Bobica looking to go back for the Basher next. You do have the Midas that's going to be worked on for FY, And likewise, I said that it's gonna be a while before Fenrir gets it, but it's, I think, the right choice this game to be going back for it, because you really can't afford to just not have items on your Warlock. Like, in the later stages, this Legion is just gonna eat him up. And there's ways to solve that, but that still could be tough. And now a big problem. They're going to jump in. ROTK, can they find him? They actually instead decide to jump over here onto aggressive, get the duel off, and, well, they're still going to be able to catch him back into here. Omni Slash now onto XSS. He's going to start to fall. They get the Boundless Strike and the ulti from Q. It might be enough. ROTK getting ran down. He's going to die to Burning, but it looks like FY will be able to make his escape free. He's trying to find this. They drop the rock, canceling out the jump forward by Burning, and now with this finally online, it looks like Bobaka might end up paying the price. Can he get away? Tree Dance? Yeah, it's not going to be there. He's just dead. They find that kill. Nicely played. It looked like he was trying to finish off something, maybe. He was just going to hit some creeps after the fact. But yeah, a pretty big win there from VG.J. And I think the big thing that ended up happening was that they couldn't get in on top of the Magnus. Sure, he didn't have RP, but the skewer messed him up enough. And also just that extra bit of damage, and of course the rock being dropped there at the end. All in all, a really great performance there in terms of the team fight, and VG.J doing what they meant to do with their draft. And now they're going to be able to take out this Ancient stack. You got aggressive building into the Sanjin Yasha. The frame rate is still garbage, but that's okay, because we're here to watch Dota. And now, this is the scary part. Like, you look at OP right now, he's sitting on 1,500 HP, sure, that's okay. Minus 30 respawn time also, so he's constantly going to be back. But he actually could very easily die here. And with ROTK, Blink Dagger available, they try to jump forward, weren't able to find him with the Legion. But it's just a scary time to be a Lina right now, I think. FY onto Q. They just take him down. Q gets away on 21 HP. And now they're going to jump forward, get a duel onto Fenrir. OP might be able to find this one as well. So winner there. OP coming in the clutch. Let it never be said that I doubted the man. He gets 2 more Bloodstone charges. They are going to be taking Roche while this is happening, but the tier 2 tower for Roche feels like a pretty good change. Not to mention that they also won that team fight very handedly. So nicely done. They're going to be able to take down this tier 2 tower. I mean, you got Ricky with the Midas, but is that really going to save the day? OP might be killing off ROTK again, so they find that kill as well. A nicely played one, and they're able to take down the Ricky. I mean, we're seeing it one frame at a time, but, you know, it's still looking pretty good even from here, in spite of that. So this is the problem that I was talking about, is that you've got, like, these heroes on VG.J. You've got a Warlock, and you've got a Ricky. You can't really play as easily from behind, and it's not so much by any means that VG.J have played this wrong. It's just that once you end up losing those first couple of engagements, like, you fall so far behind, and these are not heroes that play well from behind. And now you've also got Burning going in for the Shadow Blade, is going to be building next into a Silver Edge as well.
Take that as tribute.
And Bobaka gets a kill onto aggressive as well. Sorry I missed that one. But yeah, that was, again, what I was talking about. The Boundless Strike into Light Strike Array. You finish it off as well with a Laguna Blade. Very quick and easy pickoffs that are happening now. And Lina, 17 Bloodstone charges. She's going to have maximum mana regeneration constantly. They need to get this split push game going, but again, these heroes, they're just not built for it. I'm really concerned that you're just going to see Invictus Gaming continue to roll over VG.J, and this has been the style of Dota that they've been playing. This is what got them into the Kiev Major. If you look back to when they were playing that game against VG.J in the final match of the Kiev Major qualifiers for the China region, they just got... They ran over VG.J, and VG.J had, like, the better lineup in a lot of ways. It just came down to them not being able to hold off as long against the aggression that was coming. Excellent. So the scan will reveal Bobaka as well as Q, but they are going to run out. The smoke movement now. ROTK looking to find somebody. He does have RP available. Aggressive is up front and center hitting the tier 1 tower.
Radiant structures are fortified.
And it doesn't look like they have any interest in fighting this as of yet. Oh my god. I wouldn't want to fight either. There's no OP? Alright, he Shadow Blades away as well. Everybody's buying Shadow Blades. Why not? I mean, if you guys got a Ricky, we'll just get some Shadow Blades, counter you out easy. XXS looking for somebody to end up rotating to the top lane. It does not look like VG.J have any intention of making that happen. Instead, they're going to move down bottom, keep the pressure on. And, you know, IG do need to be at least somewhat cognizant of how much these heroes are going to scale into the late game. In power with 2 melees plus a Riki will cause issues in the later stages of this game. So, like, you can see right now they want to get involved, and they have to, really, in a lot of ways. FY is going to be there to break the smoke. Burning, he's revealed. Can they get the kill? They jump forward. RP solo onto Burning. Will it be enough, though? They drop the rock as well. A ton of damage onto ROTK, and they're able to take down one. Aegis already gone. Aggressive is going to fall to XSS. And with that, so too will the Phantom Assassin. Most likely will be able to kill off Q, but Freeze will fall in return. So the RP... Again, you realize that there's a chance that the Jug is solo there and it ends up working out into your favor, but you can't fault him too much for that decision to go in like that. They didn't have vision over in that area. Maybe a team call that it was a mistake to be sticking around and hoping for a pickoff or just being able to take that tower free, but you got to take chances at this point. So very fine and dandy play by IG. And now taking the tier 1 tower in the mid lane. We'll see if they continue the pressure up. It's almost a 7,500 net worth lead for them right now. And well, not looking to slow down anytime soon. OP did die, so it's down to 12 Bloodstone charges. But still not awful by any means. So tier 3 tower going to drop. And we'll see right now. ROTK, obviously no more RP available for him. And FY, he's just going to be able to back out as well. It looks like with that, they're going to be content taking the shrines. 19 to 12. Again, apologize for the lag. This is just how it happens with Chinese servers. I'm actually running a VPN right now as well, but it doesn't even work. Nonetheless, we'll keep it up. We'll persevere. Aggressive, on the other hand, might not so much. He is going to probably die. Does look like they're also going to get the dual damage on XSS. So 42 for him at this stage. They're setting up on Burning mid, sort of. But again, it's just like a question, how are you going to be able to take that fight even? Burning looking for initiation. This is a Silver Edge if he runs into somebody. Now they're going back in for the racks. Good decision. They'll make this work. And should be Elena Barracks at the very least. They have RP again with Freeze there. That's a good spread out. The skewer not going to be on the mark. Yeah, and that will ensure that they take that tower. Good reactions by Burning to go for the Blade Fury as well. They're still very slowed up right now by the Warlock Upheaval, but there's not a ton of chase potential on this lineup, at least at this moment. Again, Riki, he's building back into a Diffusal Blade. We'll be able to kill off Q solo at a certain point in this game. Oh, God. Yeah, that hurts. That hurts. That's not what you want to see. Where is the Sentry Ward? Oh, there it is. I just walked a little bit too far forward.
Double damage.
And no way off of that. All right, bottom lane. Time to keep the pressure on. They've got a DD on Burning for at least a little while longer. Healing Ward down. You do have, again, a rock available. And Magnus is back over here, but they just do not feel like they're capable of taking the fight without everybody in the area. Bobica set up in the trees. Burning continuing to hit away at this. They've got PA in the area. Maybe they can find something. ROTK canceling the RP. Getting a little bit fresh and fancy free. Melee barracks down. They drop the ward. Are not spotting anybody as of yet, and it looks like OP should be able to just back out of that with no real harm done. And now time to move along the top lane. Looks like Ags or possibly Octarine is going to be the next choice for Lina. Again, she got a couple of those interesting talents that changed around. And if you look at the way that it sort of has functioned, you've got the respawn time talent, you've got damage, you've got attack range. I don't know if she's going to take it this game, but in a lot of ways, it's very similar to how Lone Druid got buffed. Not saying by any means that Lina is going to be at the same level as Lone Druid, but and then also for her last talent, 25, it's attack speed increase, sort of similar to other elements of Lone Druid's kit. So I think that Lena being played in a core role is going to start to come back more and more. As soon as I saw those changes, like 50 damage ain't nothing to scoff at. Looking for the catch now. ROTK, he just eliminated. And 45 seconds, they can probably force a buyback here. Creeps are already going to be into the base just by natural push, so they can keep the pressure on if they want. Burning going to drop down a healing ward in a second, I'm sure. And now the pressure going to be mounted. Maybe they force out a buyback here. We'll have to see. Okay. Apparently nothing is happening. ROTK, he's still here, but they're not giving him an option. There's the jump forward, skewer back, RP as well. Is it going to be enough? They drop the rock, and, well, ROTK, they're doing a good bit of damage. They're able to take down OP immediately back. Now the Omni Slash down as well. Bobaka's starting to drop low. Wukong Command not able to keep him alive long enough. Now Freeze out of his BKB. They turn to fight, trying to take him down. That's going to be enough for the kill in just a second, I believe. No, almost out of there. They turn fight duel. That's going to be maybe enough. Oh my god, are they actually going to be able to win the duel? Freeze takes the duel. Where's your MKB, mister? Triple kill for Freeze, and maybe going to be able to find more off the back of this. Aggressive shows up, going to take down OP. Oh my god, have VG.J done it? What? Oh, and Q also going to die an ultra kill for Freeze. All right, there were more than a few crits in there, I'm sure. We didn't see a damn one of them, but 4,700 gold into their favor with 2,700 of it going to the Warlock. Yeah, he got more than enough for a Midas now, but GG is still going to be called. They took the barracks. They're done. We're done. VG.J are down 1-0 in spite of that comeback. It looked pretty, but it was never nearly going to be enough. So really impressive display so far. Invictus Gaming making the plays. And this is a team that people will not be super familiar with, I think, because they haven't made it to a bunch of big lands. Like VG.J, people saw what they could do at Starladder. Now, I think that at DAC, you're going to see some big stuff from Invictus. They've been winning a lot of big tournaments. They've had time to gel together. You look at Burning, he's been back on form. His Vengeful Spirit play has been immaculate. He's been playing a bunch of other versatile carries. You've got this combination of Bobaka and Q in a support duo that tend to be able to do stuff early more often than not. And then OP, I think, is probably a fairly underrated mid player, even though he's sort of like a lesser version of SCCC, if you will. So very curious to see what this team is capable of doing, but we're going to hop into game number 2 in just a second. It is again Invictus Gaming versus VG.J. The loser of this upper bracket finals is going to go down to face LGD a little bit later on tonight. And then again tomorrow we'll have the best of 5 to determine who is going to be the next person at the Manila Masters tournament. So stick around, everybody. I've been Lyrical. Should have somebody else who's going to join me for the second game. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you soon.